Hey everyone, this is some nerdy guy back again with another video, and today's video is, of course, another pickup video, but it's not from Limited Run. It's pseudo Limited Run because there are some Limited Run releases here, but I'm actually showing what I got from VGP, which they do a lot of. They're based out of Canada, I believe, and they do a lot of reprints of games that are hard to get, and then they also get their hands on limited run stuff and do releases of those. So I have 2 boxes from them, and someone who watches this channel, oh, I'm blanking on your name. I'm so sorry. Ackland, Mirror Video Gamer. If I completely butchered that, I'm so sorry, but I'm mostly positive that it was him that made a comment about how he's been ordering some of his limited run stuff just through VGP, and you get it a lot faster, and they get it like when it sometimes it's after the release or whatever, but sometimes the prices are cheaper because a lot of these I got were like $20 or less. There was like some older limited run releases that I had missed out on and stuff, and I got them for really cheap. But then I also wanted to show some of the stuff I had previously ordered from there. Just a couple things. And then what I got from Playasia. I think I had mentioned in a previous video, like months ago, that I got a box from Playasia. And I swore that I had the video for it to upload, and I must have deleted it on accident, thinking it was something I had already uploaded just to like make space on my phone. And yeah, so I accidentally deleted that. So I'm going to show what I got from Playasia as well. But to start, they did reprints of these 2 games, and there was like a slight discount if you bought them both together. And the first game I already have, so I might just trade it away to somebody or, gift it or something. But it's Trails of Cold Steel 1 and Trails of Cold Steel 2. These were 2 that I did not have in the Trails series. I only have been buying them on the Switch. But the first 2 games you can only get on PlayStation. So whether it's the Vita or on the PS4. So yeah, definitely wanted to get my hands on those because I think both of these are out of print. So I think it's weird because they did the first 2 games on the Switch, but only in Japan, if I'm not mistaken, which is kind of strange that they wouldn't bring them over here, but who knows, maybe it'll eventually happen. And then this is all the stuff that I ended up getting from Playasia. So we have, I'm already blanking on the name, but it's like kind of like a survival horror-ish, but it's like an adventure game. I'm completely blanking on the name because it doesn't have any English on it, but the game you can play in English. Completely blanking on the name of this. I sound like a fake fan, but that's all right. I can't remember. It's all in Japanese. We got sorry, some of these are not supposed to be here. They're from a different they're from Idea Factory, but I guess I can show them anyways. These are from a separate. We got Fairy Fencer, the newest one, and then we got Neptunia Senran Kagura. So that's cool, but those are not from Playasia. We have Ace Attorney Trilogy. This is not the English version. I thought it was supposed to be the English Asia version that they did, but this is just the straight up Japanese version, which is fine. It'll still play in English, so that's cool. We have Sense, a Cyberpunk Ghost Story. I've heard things about this game when it first came out, some, I guess, controversial things. I don't really remember exactly, but this one was really cheap, so I added it to my cart. This was all during New Year's, I think, because they had a big New Year's sale where tons of games were like really cheap. We have Lost Epic. It's just a nice RPG there, so that's cool. You can see on the back there some of the screenshots. Almost reminds me of King's Crown a little bit. Then we have oh my gosh, Super Robot Wars. I wanted to say Super Metal Wars. I'm like, that's not the right thing, but it's all kinds of mecha anime all coming together. There's tons of these games, but this is the 30th anniversary, and I think this was only like $15, so definitely wanted to snag it. You can see Mazinger Z there, of course Gundam. I think Gridman's in here. Yeah, you can see Gridman. He's right there. I love Gridman. The newest anime, and I watched the 90s like live action series, and it's corny, but I love it because I also really like Power Rangers, and it's the same company and everything, so I like it a lot. And then we have Ghostblade HD, which is a shoot 'em up game. Love my shoot 'em ups. And then there's 2 special edition games here. We have Rush Rally Collection. Comes in this cool box. Comes with a soundtrack, a cool manual, certificate, which I don't think that should really count as an item to be part of the collector's edition, but I digress. Cool little racing game. I heard a couple other YouTubers talk about it. Resell Robin, I think, was one of them. I've been liking a lot of his videos. If anybody else watches him, I have been watching his pickups, and I like his ones that he thinks are going to be rare. It's just kind of fun to speculate which ones you think are going to be kind of hard to find later down the road, because you know, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong, and I don't know, it's just kind of fun. And then we have Omen of Sorrow, which this game is really interesting. It's a fighting game where you play as like mythical monsters and creatures and stuff, because I believe there's Dracula in here, the werewolf, Jekyll and Hyde, all kinds of different characters are in here. So very cool. And same deal with this soundtrack, manual, cool little stuff in there. So yeah, that is all the stuff from Playasia, and then those 2 things from VGP. And now I have these 2 boxes from VGP that I would like to open. I need to do, because all I've really been doing is limited run videos. And of course, I've always said I have other ideas that I want to do videos of on this channel, which I still do. But I've also just want to show like other pickups that I get, because I pick up different games all the time, retro and some modern stuff when things go on sale. I follow a couple of Twitter accounts like Wario64 and physical releases, whatever, and they show whenever games drop in price on Amazon or on GameStop or Best Buy and things like that. And I sometimes order those, but I never show them in any videos, so maybe I'll do that at some point. All right, cool. And I also have another channel coming out, which I will kind of plug here at the very end of the video. So yeah, most of this is actually PS4 stuff, and there's only 2 Switch games, well, and 1 PS5 game. You can already see the spine for it there. But we have Button Up. I just thought the pixel art was really cool, and it was $10, so I went ahead and bought that. This one was one that, again, it was just cheap, and I wanted to get the free shipping, so I went ahead and got Alchemic Cutie. It's basically like a Stardew Valley type game. Same kind of pixel art and stuff like that. I don't know if I'll actually ever play this one, to be honest with you, but that's okay. Most games I do buy, I try to at least play one time, or like if I have the gauge of interest in it. And you know, sometimes these cozy crafting games can be fun, so we'll see how it goes. We have Clash Artifacts of Chaos. I know there's a PS5 version of this, but this was only $7, so I can't really complain, just to add it to the collection. And you get a PS5 free upgrade, so you know, can't really complain there. We have God of Rock. I wanted to get this game on the Switch, and I just never did. And again, this was only $7, so I was like, I'll just add it to the collection. At least I have a way to play it. It's a rhythm game, but it's also a fighting game at the same time. I think Radical Reggie had talked about this not too long ago. But I remember hearing about the game when it first came out. And it was one of those deals where I was just like, I'll wait for a price drop. And sure enough, $7. Can't beat that. Very cool. We have My Fantastic Ranch. Again, $7, just to beef up the collection. And, you know, get some of these kind of obscure games for the PS4 before, you know, stuff starts happening and everybody's like, oh, this game was actually decent. And then everybody goes and tries to snag a copy, and then, you know, artificial scarcity, people, there's whole kinds of conspiracies about that, but I don't know. I just like to get stuff on the cheap while you can, if it's even something you have a remote interest in. I don't know. Some people probably say I'm wasting my money, and maybe there's right, but, you know, that's my prerogative. We have another one, Life in Willowdale Farm Adventure. It's just some stupid stuff, but, you know, some of these quirky little games can sometimes be pretty charming, or they can be bare bones bland and just boring. But, you know, for $7, it's worth a shot, I think. So there's that one. And then we have them's fighting herds. Another game I was kind of interested in just because of how like weird it was. The fact that they pretty much ripped off the art style and everything of My Little Pony and got away with it without getting sued is pretty funny to me. Um, I think, to my knowledge, I heard that this actually was supposed to be a My Little Pony fighting game, and they decided against it, so they just went ahead and made their own game. I could be wrong about that, but if that's the case, that's pretty funny to me. And no, I'm not a brony. I just thought this was unique. It was $7. Like I said, all these games were $7 a piece. So this one, I have the first game of, and it's a cool, it's a racing game. It reminds me a lot of Wipeout. And I guess there is a PS5 version of it, which I didn't know. But again, $7. Can't beat that. That is Redout 2. I like these like futuristic kind of racing games because, you know, we'll probably never get another F-Zero. So like this is the next best thing, to be honest. But no, I think they're pretty neat. I like getting them when I can, when they're cheap like this. So definitely worth a try. And then last one is a PS5 game, and it's a limited edition. And this was only, I think, $15, and it comes with a steelbook. So a game with a steelbook for $15, I think, is pretty good. But it's Recompile for the PS5. And the game itself actually looks really interesting. It almost kind of reminds me of Super Hot, just because of how the character looks on the front. I honestly don't know a whole lot about the game. I was just kind of looking at the screenshots that were provided on VGP. You know, it's kind of weird because like a lot of people are like, why don't you just like look up reviews or look up you know, a YouTube video to see what it looks like. I'm like, I kind of just sometimes like going based off of what the cover looks like and nothing more than that, especially when a game is that cheap. So you're not really breaking the bank, and you might have a cool experience without having any prior knowledge to what the game's about. So because that's how they had to do it back in the day. I know everybody says that back in the day we didn't have internet, so blah blah blah. And you know, there's some kind of fun to that, not knowing what you're really getting into when you're playing something. But this game looks pretty cool, I have to say. It looks interesting enough. Definitely worth a try. So there's that. And then this is the last box, a bit smaller. I think there's only 6 games in here, I want to say. And all of these are previous limited run releases. And I got them for really cheap. I think the most I paid for one of these was $25, I want to say. And it is the one here on top, which I just wanted to have the standard copy of, just because. And that is for Moon. I ended up getting the collector's edition of this, but I really, really like this game a lot. So I just wanted to get a second copy of it. I won't lie. So yeah, I ended up just grabbing a standard copy of Moon. This game, I don't think I ended up buying this one, and I didn't really look at my collection, because sometimes when they do the LRG drops on VGP, they're like really fast, and they only have limited quantities of what they have, so it's like you got to add to your cart and check out before everything sells out, kind of thing. So this one is Clea, I want to say is how you pronounce it. It looks kind of like horror-esque just based on the cover here, and again, just looking at some of the screenshots while I was making my purchase, I was like, this looks like an interesting game. Could be really creepy. And it comes with both games, so that's really cool to have it physically on the Switch. This was probably the cheapest game I bought. It was only $13. And I remember seeing this on the Wii U and the 3DS back in the day, but as the Mutant Mudds collection. And previously, I had seen it on like, on Amazon and stuff. And I want to say, oh my gosh, I'm about to like get hiccups here. And I think this was like a $30 game or something like that. So to get it for $13 and you get all 3 games from the series, at least I'm pretty sure there's only 3 games from what I remember. Really cool just to have them all on one cartridge and have it physically. It's really cool. Another one that was really cheap. We have Earth Knight on the Switch. This looks like a fun little action platformer game. So I think it might be more Metroidvania from what it looks like. It's just 2D side-scrolling, you know. It's all kind of meshes together with subgenres and everything else. It's hard to differentiate what's what anymore. but that was a cool game. And then we got Godstrike. I thought this was a really neat looking game. It's like a bullet hell, like twin stick shooter type game. So I thought that was really neat. You can see on the back there. Almost kind of looks more bullet hell. I don't know. Just looks really cool. Yeah, twin stick shooter gameplay. Hey, I was right. I didn't even look. But yeah. It says it right on the cover. I was just trying to go based off memory. And then last but not least, this game I have some nostalgia for, and that is Might and Magic Clash of Heroes. I got this game years ago on my Xbox 360 for free. It was like a free download. It was like right when they were starting to do all the Xbox Live, like free games of the month kind of thing. They would just randomly throw in freebies. It was like before the big boom of all that. So this game, we put a lot, my friend Christian and I put a lot of time into, because it was, you know, we were kids at the time, so we didn't have the money to always get games all the time. And this was just a random one that we happened to have on the Xbox. And it's a really cool game. I'm hoping the same one. Oh, you know what? This looks like a completely different game, to be honest with you. This might be different than what I'm thinking of. It's just in the same series. Huh. Because from what I remember, it's a match 3 game, but you have like a whole army, and you have to match them together, and then certain monsters that you match together give you a power up, and then you can do like an alt move that like clears the board and things like that. But this looks a lot different from these screenshots, unless if what we had was like a demo of the game and this is like the full game. Or this might be a completely different game altogether. But the cover almost looks identical to what we played. So I'm a little confused. I'll definitely have to... This is probably the first one I'm going to pop in, because now my curiosity is definitely piqued with this because of that. That's really weird. Interesting. So I'll have something to look forward to with that as well. As well as all these other games. Holy crap. So many games. But really cheap. It's hard to pass up Switch and PS4 stuff when it's that cheap. Like I said, for the PS4 specifically, you never know when the price spikes are going to happen, you know? So I like to try to get ahead of the curve if I can. So I just went ahead for less than $10 a piece on brand new games. I mean, and they're not like, I mean, some of them might be trash. Some of them might be trash. But for games that seem like they're somewhat decent games, you know, to add to the collection that, you know, you might pop in every once in a while, I think that's a good deal. I think that's worth it to me. But maybe you disagree, and that's fine. So yeah, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. And just a quick plug, we have my friend Taylor and I, we have a new channel coming out. It's called the Nerdtastic Duo. We're both going to be uploading to that channel. He's going to be streaming, as well as I'm going to try to stream with him. We'll try to find games to play together, have a good time, and hopefully everybody enjoys that as well. It's not fully up yet, like the channel's there, but we haven't gone live with anything yet. We're still waiting on some artwork to be done and things like that, but I believe Taylor has already started streaming on the channel, so if you feel like watching that stuff, then you can go ahead and do what your little heart desires. So anyways, look forward to that channel, as well as more videos on this channel. But yeah, if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until the next one, see ya.